Hello, the honorable judges and all the participants that joined this speech online competition. And also greetings to all of you citizens that have watched my speech performance right now. First of all, let us give thanks and praise to the Lord. Because of His grace and His kindness, we can still healthy and we can still alive until right now. And I also want to say thank you to all the committees that held this competition. Thank you so much for the chance that you give to me so I can improve my skills by joining this competition. So I can improve my public speaking skills by joining these speech competitions. Secondly, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Anggia Heilinar Manullang. I live in Binjai. I'm studying at Medan State Polytechnic College, major computer engineering and informatics, especially computer engineering study program. Today, I'm standing here because I want to deliver my speech to all of you, and the title is about the blended learning, the newest revolution of education method in 21st century. I chose this title as my speech today because all of us know that recently all countries, all nations in the world are competing to find what the right learning method that must be applied in these situations, in these conditions, in this pandemic condition, and in this 21st century. So by this speech today, I would like to tell you that there is one method that suitable to be applied in this condition, namely is blended learning. So what is blended learning and what is it? So I will tell you through this speech. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we know that education is very important not only for ourselves, not only for us, but also for the progress of a nation. And over time, education continues to develop to be better and modern when it viewed globally. And can be seen from the learning method used continue to experience change from conventional to be more modern and more sophisticated ways. This revolution is also experienced by technology, the change from conventional to be modern and more sophisticated. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us know that since the COVID-19 occurred to the world for the first time, especially in Wuhan, China, at the end of December 2019, we know that all countries, all nations in the world are worried about the impact that will arise because of this disease. We know that all sectors like economic industries, including education sectors, are affected by this COVID-19, are get impact because of this COVID-19. So, because of that, all countries in the world, all nations in the world, including Indonesia, are work hard to find what the learning methods that appropriate, that suitable to be applied in this situation, in this COVID-19 disease and in this 21st century. One method that have been applied in this condition and this 21st century is blended learning method that I have said before. What is blended learning method? For the questions. Blended learning method is a learning method that gives a flexibility between the teachers and the students to choose how the learning is carried out. Blended learning method is a combined method which is it mix between face-to-face learning with distance learning, or we also call it offline learning with online learning or virtual learning. So, the online learning, we can use the recently technology such as by Google Meet, Zoom meetings, or other application or other technology that can support the online learning. Ladies and gentlemen, there are several advantages that can be obtained from the blended learning. So what is it? First, with blended learning, there is an interaction between the teachers or lecturer with their students. So the learning is not gonna be so strict between the teachers and the students not feel bored anymore. The second, with blended learning, the teachers and the students are free to choose how the learning is carried out, whether online or offline, whether distance by online virtual meeting or from school or from college. It's up to them. And the third, blended learning is combining instructional method. And the last, blended learning is combining instructional delivery media. So that's the advantage of blended learning methods. Based on the advantage of the blended learning, it proved that blended learning is make a flexibility in learning between the students and the teacher or the lecturer. They are free to choose how the learning is carried out. They can choose the right time, the right place to study or to learning. Ladies and gentlemen, the blended learning is also make the students to practice their independence in learning. And it also the focus of our Minister of Education, namely Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, to realize the independent learning, to realize the independent campus for college students. And if there is something, subject that the students cannot be understood, they can contact their lecturer, they can contact their teachers to make appointment to discuss the material that can understood. So that's the benefits of blended learning, and that's the focus that one realized by our Minister of Education. The conclusions of my speech today is proof that blended learning is suitable and effective to be applied in this COVID-19 situations and in this 21st century, because it's also supported by technology too, because it uses technology too to make it better. And it also can be realizing our Minister of Education, Mr. Nadiem Anwar Makarim, expectation to create the independent learning, which means that learning can be done anywhere, learning can be done anytime, and learning can be done with any media using technology. And learning not only be done at schools or college. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all my speech about blended learning, the newest revolution of education method. Thank you so much for the chance. Thank you so much for your attentions. And I'm sorry if there is any mistake, if there is any trouble in my speech today. I'm sorry for it. This is me, Anggia, and thank you very much.